What if I told you that this world you call home, this planet of oceans and forests, of cities and stars, is not a sanctuary but a prison? What if Earth is hell? Not fire and brimstone, but something far more deceptive. A place of illusion. A system of control. A realm ruled not by a benevolent creator, but by imposters. A spiritual trap to keep you asleep. This isn't science fiction. This is ancient knowledge, hidden for centuries. Today, we explore a forbidden truth buried for thousands of years, preserved in one of the most profound and controversial ancient texts ever discovered, the secret book of John. According to this Gnostic gospel, Earth is not heaven's reflection. It is its distortion. It is not a school for the soul, but a cage. And the ones who rule this world are not divine angels, but imposters. Look around you. To the naked eye, life is beautiful. But underneath the surface, there is suffering, conflict, and endless distraction. We're born into amnesia, programmed by culture, ruled by time, fear, and death. This isn't divine order. This is the containment system. From our first breath, we are surrounded by systems that program us. Culture, religion, politics, media. We are told what to think, how to act, what to desire, and what to fear. The secret book of John seeks to explain the dichotomy between light and dark, and pain and suffering here on earth. The narrative centers on a mystical encounter between the risen Christ and John. After Jesus' ascension, he returned to reveal hidden knowledge meant only for the spiritually awakened. According to the secret book of John, banned by the Christian church, Earth is not the creation of a loving God. It is the work of a false creator, a blind and arrogant being, Yaldabaoth, the Demiurge. A god of shadows who believes himself supreme, but was born of error. In the beginning, there was light. A vast, infinite spiritual force, nameless, boundless, pure light. A divine source beyond comprehension. This is not the God of thunder, wrath, or judgment, but the invisible spirit beyond form, gender, or ego. From this source, emanations of divine consciousness flowed like ripples from a still pond. These emanations were called aeons. One of these aeons was Sophia, divine wisdom. Moved by a mysterious desire to create without her counterpart, as required by the invisible spirit, she created a being. But something went wrong. The creation was a flawed abomination, a being born outside the harmony of divine order. Part lion, part serpent, monstrous and chaotic, wisdom named him Yaldabaoth. Blind and arrogant, Yaldabaoth was cast into the void. Isolated and ignorant of the true source, he believed himself to be the only God. He created beings in his image, the Archons, cosmic enforcers who became rulers of the planetary spheres. These are the principalities spoken of in esoteric Christianity and other mystery traditions. Forces that govern fate, time, suffering, and death. And in his delusion, they created the material universe. Yaldabaoth created Earth and said, "I am God, and there is none beside me." Thus began the age of deception. Yaldabaoth and his minions, the Archons, crafted not just earth, but bodies, flesh, blood, bone. They made containers to trap the divine sparks, souls that fell from the higher realms. You are one of them. They did not want you to remember your origin in the pleroma, the realm of divine fullness. So they wrapped your consciousness in flesh and embedded forgetfulness into your very DNA. They veiled your perception with fear, distraction, and control. To the Gnostics, your soul is a spark of the divine, luminous and eternal. But here on earth, that spark is buried, chained, confused, reincarnated again and again, trapped in a cycle of birth and death, never quite remembering the truth. Earth became the realm of sleepwalkers, prisoners who do not know they are imprisoned. But this truth was never truly lost. In Buddhism, the world is dukkha, a place of suffering and impermanence. Life here is a wheel of rebirth from which the soul must awaken, called samsara. In Hinduism, the world is maya, illusion. The soul, or Atman, is divine, but becomes lost in the material drama, forgetting its eternal nature. The Matrix films captured this precisely. A digital dream world built to blind humanity to its enslavement. The machines of the Matrix feed off human energy, just as the Archons feed off our spiritual ignorance and emotional chaos. Even in Christian mysticism, the world is sometimes called the Vale of Tears, a place of exile, not a true home. Saints and sages have long described Earth as a battlefield of souls, where forces of light and shadow wage a war for human consciousness. And in Gnostic texts, Christ is not a sacrificial lamb. He is a liberator, a revealer. He came not to die for your sins, but to wake you up from the nightmare. So yes, Earth is hell, but not in the way religion told you. There are no pitchforks, no fire. The real hell is spiritual amnesia. The prison is your own mind, conditioned by fear, shame, and survival. Hell, in this Gnostic sense, is separation from your true self. It is ignorance of your divine origin. It is being trapped in a world designed to confuse, seduce, and enslave your soul. The rulers of this world feed on your confusion. They want you distracted, divided, asleep. Every war, every ideology, every system that tells you what to believe is part of the machinery. But once you see it, you can never unsee it. But you are not powerless. You are not abandoned. The Gnostics taught that salvation does not come through blind belief or rituals, but through gnosis or direct inner knowledge. The Jesus Christ of Gnostic texts is not a sacrifice for sin, but a liberator of minds. He came to remind us of what we are, fragments of the divine source trapped in a shadow world. Escape is not through death. Escape is through awakening. See through the illusion. Meditation, contemplation, sacred texts, and inner work. These are your tools. When you pierce the veil, the Archons lose power over you. You begin to reclaim your sovereignty. The dream shatters. The false god is exposed. You become untouchable, invisible to the Archons. You stop feeding the system, and Earth, once a prison, becomes a battlefield, a crucible, a gateway back to the light. The Apocryphon of John, also known as the Secret Book of John, is attributed to the Apostle John. However, it is considered pseudepigraphical, meaning it was written under his name rather than by him. This text was in circulation among early church fathers before 180 AD. The narrative centers on a mystical encounter between the risen Christ and John, in which Jesus returns after his ascension to reveal hidden esoteric teachings and secret knowledge meant only for the spiritually awakened. Although the Secret Book of John was written after the canonical Gospel of John, it offers a deeper, more mystical interpretation of Christ's message, not a contradiction. A hidden layer of truth preserved for those with eyes to see. While the Gospel speaks to the masses, the Secret Book whispers to the awakened soul, revealing the cosmic origins of creation, the deception of the material world, and the divine spark buried within us all. So, is Earth hell? Well, yes, but only for those who remain asleep. For those who awaken, it is the final challenge before ascension, the ultimate test of the soul. This is not the end. It's the beginning of your escape. You were never meant to stay here forever. You came to remember, to reclaim, to return. So, stay awake. Seek truth. Remember who you are. If this truth resonates, Subscribe on YouTube or by podcast. Join us as we uncover the ancient secrets hidden in plain sight. Until next time, seek the light, not the lie.